here. Welcome to the live reaction to Memphis Wrestling Hardcore Holidays featuring the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer. Oh my goodness, what an episode. It was so much fun in front of the camera and behind the camera. So many surprises on the holiday special. Welcome, everybody. Happy hardcore holidays. Merry Christmas. However you celebrate, let's talk some Memphis Wrestling live. I have just a couple of minutes here on Christmas Eve. I'm coming to you from my log cabin here in Olive Branch, Mississippi. You can see there's some snow on the ground behind me in the windows. So Memphis is getting a white Christmas for the first time in, I believe, 20 years. So it's freezing cold outside, but the Memphis Wrestling was red hot. So what's up, everybody? Let's talk about it. Tommy Dreamer came out to start the program, interrupting Reverend Ash Taylor with his Christmas Eve prayer. Hello, Rob. How are you? He says he hopes Santa is okay. The possums need to let him go. Yeah, so Santa Claus, the big man himself, he made a special appearance here on Memphis Wrestling today before he goes and delivers all the presents to the good boys and girls around the world. And he delivered the Memphis Trios rings to Team WrestleCenter, which this week consisted of just Derek King and Ray Sanders, thanks to Mike Anthony's vicious attack last week on Brandon Beckworth. That's Big Daddy, Big John Dalton's father. Anyways, he's feeling much, much better. Actually saw him this week at the WrestleCenter, but still banged up pretty good. Rob says Tommy beating Brad was quite the present. Oh, yeah. First ever hardcore holidays match. Tommy Dreamer came in, went one-on-one with main event Bradley, and he's right about one thing. He did beat Uncle Mikey in the main event, and this was his second main event in a row, and this one against the legend himself, Tommy Dreamer. Awesome contest. What did you guys think about the Legos? I mean, we've all stepped on a Lego late at night, walking through the house or whatever, but superplexed off the top rope into a bed of Legos. Absolutely unbelievable. Shout out to Brad, main event Bradley, stepping up and making it one heck of a main event, that's for sure. Robert, Merry Christmas to you, man. Thank you. Michael, happy 1-year anniversary with Memphis Wrestling. Merry Christmas. There's main event Bradley, Big Dustin. I took Tommy to the limit. Would have won too if it wasn't for mid-card Mikey. Well, I did see somebody post in the comments that maybe, just maybe, it's main event Mikey. So stay tuned for that. Very good job today in the main event, though. Brad came up a little bit short against the innovator of violence. Rob sends prayers to Big John's dad. Yeah, very sucks to miss the Christmas Eve episode because of some jerk that attacked your dad the week before. But if you guys heard the gun show, what he said, if you listened very carefully, he implied that we could get Big John Dalton versus Mike Anthony. He says Big John Dalton wants a piece of him. I don't know about that. If I'm Big John Dalton or if I'm Big John Dalton's father, I understand wanting to fight Mike Anthony for attacking your dad. But there was a little bit of a tidbit there. Stay tuned and we'll see how that unfolds. But Michael says the 1-year anniversary of being a fan of Memphis Wrestling. Well, we're glad you're here. Clown, what's up? Did a great job today on the Christmas Eve special. Merry Christmas to you and your family, Clown. The WrestleCenter is always better when everybody's there. So tell your family I said that as well. James, Merry Christmas, Dustin. That main event was a perfect gift for us fans. Thanks, James. I really appreciate it. Something fun. And I also thought the opening contest was a lot of fun with the gun show going against Jason Genesis and Goddess, of course, decked out as Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and big victory for the gun show. And then also we are on the road to the Grind City Rumble. And I know that it's already filmed and it's in the can, and I'm not going to give you any kind of spoilers. You're just going to have to watch like everybody else. But episode 100 will be a milestone, and the gun show is looking forward to it. That's one thing's for sure. And also, speaking of the Grind City Rumble, as we all know, the winner of the Rumble will move on to our anniversary super bout. It will be our 2-year blockbuster anniversary. Tickets went on sale today. That will be a Saturday, February the 4th. Tickets, like I say, just went on sale today. ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com. Get them, because I'm telling you, we are going to have the biggest match in Memphis wrestling history. That Saturday, February 4th, Memphis Wrestling second year blockbuster super bout. Get those tickets. But then also January 15th, I'm super excited about All Heart Blake Christian. He is so spectacular and exciting in the ring. Of course, he works with AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I cannot wait to see him in the ring at Memphis Wrestling. That is on January the 15th, our very first live event of 2023. And you could save $5 right now with the code word Blake at checkout. That's $5 per ticket. And then also, if you guys paid close attention to social media, at mem_wrestling or wherever it is on social media, James Ellsworth sent in a video talking about the women's division in Memphis Wrestling, and he sort of put them on notice. So stay tuned for that. That is live January the 15th, Championship Wrestling Memphis.com. Get your tickets, save $5 per ticket with code word Blake. Now, let me get caught back up. I'm sorry, guys. Main event was perfect gift. Once again, Merry Christmas, William, to you. What's up, Keith? How are you? Clown says happy anniversary to, I think that was to Mike. Rob, can't wait to see Gun Show versus Mike Anthony. It'll be a death match, right? I think it's going to be a death match regardless of if it's really a death match. Ben says, Merry Christmas, Dustin. What traditions does your family do for Christmas? Well, this last several years, Ben, first of all, Merry Christmas to you. But the last couple of years, it's really been watching Memphis Wrestling on either Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. But we all do get together as a family and just spend some family time. And it's really cool this year that we planned a little bit better to where we don't have another live event until January 15th. Now, there will be a couple of basketball games from the Grizzlies sprinkled in or what have you. So I'm not off that entire time. But being able to just not necessarily sit back, but to prepare for what's coming up. And we have several weeks to do that. So, oh my goodness, thankful for that little bit of downtime. Another thing that we do, Ben, is that we typically have some sort of, like gimmick or something, like a pajama or what have you. So that's one of the things that we do. Michael says, hey, Brad, in all seriousness, hope your dad is doing well. Same here to Brad, to Barrel Bottom Brad or Main Event Bradley, however you want to say it. Yes, sending thoughts and prayers to your family, also to your brother, too. A lot of people have asked about Briar. Briar is not medically cleared to compete, so he can't be in the ring. We're not exactly sure for how long, and so stay tuned for that. Hopefully we'll see Briar back in the ring at some point. Robert says, Rampage has a trios battle royal. Will Memphis do the same? We have not even thought about a trios battle royal, not yet. Rob says, I hope the gun show keeps the possums out of Big John Dalton versus Mike Anthony match. Me too. And I do hope we get that match. Stay tuned. Clown says, he's laughing at bottom barrel Brad. Rob says, no hot snots made the show better. I totally agree. Stay tuned for that, though, the hot snot. The hot shots, Rob, hot shots. Snack Kings, would you like to have Sasha Banks in Memphis Wrestling? Of course we would. Jake Hudson, how are you, brother? Thank you for the super chat. Clown, do not give out any spoilers. I will drop kick you. Rob says, what was Jimmy's big news again? Didn't seem very big. No, I agree with you 100% on that, Rob, but apparently he has gotten a number one contendership match for his team of Van Vicious and Colton Cage, and that was the big news. Which it is big news because I don't know how he pulled that off because Van and Colton haven't been that successful as a tag team. I mean, they have, but not necessarily in the wins or loss columns. And then also, do they really want a piece of the posse? So we'll see about that. Lurvy says, Merry Christmas, Dustin. The worst of winter weather has hit Vancouver. Same here. How is it where you are in the southern states? Well, there's a lot of households around us that do not even have power. There was some sort of gas problem yesterday when everybody was trying to turn on their heat in the area. So there's a lot of people without power. When we get hit with some sort of storm like this, it's usually one time per year. And this time it happened in December. Usually it's been happening in February. Our very first television taping ever for Memphis Wrestling, we had a snowstorm that night. So we literally filmed the episodes and then broke down the ring and put it up in a snowstorm. Dave Marquez was here from Hollywood, him and John Roberts, and they were snowed in for a week. So it was absolutely crazy. Hopefully not that bad this time. But thanks for asking, Lurvy. Vancouver, where the Grizzlies started out. Yeah. Ray Sanders. Merry Christmas Eve, Dustin, and to all the fans of Memphis Wrestling. Thank you, Raymond. I really appreciate that. Rob says, I hope Blake versus Boss. Ooh, Blake Christian versus the Boss. Blake Christian is the next Buddy Matthews. I don't see anything wrong with that. Bo says Dreamer was on an absolute tear this Christmas Eve. Brad's chances were still high, though. Let me tell you, shout out to Tommy Dreamer, one of the very best to ever do it. A consummate professional inside the ring and outside the ring, was an absolute joy to do business with. We had a seminar immediately following, so you'll see the stars of tomorrow continue to progress and get better for you guys and for your entertainment purposes. But then also, as they just elevate Memphis wrestling by learning more, and Dreamer was a great person to learn from. Rings look great on you, says Rob, talking to Ray Ray. Cassandra would drop Ellsworth like a hot biscuit. Well, Rob, I hope we see that. Michael says James Ellsworth degraded the women in WWE, and he'll do the same to the women of Memphis Wrestling. Well, his opening promo did not sound very friendly to the ladies of Memphis Wrestling. And I can tell you one thing. In Memphis, you will not come in talking that trash, especially to the women's division, because I know every single woman in that division, including my Maria, who will probably make sure she's at the booth for that one, because they will all slap the taste right out of James Ellsworth's mouth, and I am here to see it. William says, congratulations, Ray Sanders. That ring looks perfect. It's a perfect Christmas gift. Lurvy says that I'm very impressed with the young wrestlers. Has me wondering if Marco Harris, Pesky Will, and the Bay City Universe will return to Memphis. We did see them in a special taping for a tag team match. Not exactly sure on some of that, Lurvy, but I am familiar with Marco Harris. He does perform at EPW, and I think he holds a championship over there right now. Bo says an Ellsworth and Precious Martin alliance sounds like a match made in hell for Memphis women. What about a tag team match? Oh my gosh, I think you just wrote a storyline. Snack King says, would you like to have Memphis Wrestling versus Impact Wrestling in the near future of 2023? Not necessarily. I'm not really into all that kind of stuff. It would be very good exposure for the Memphis Wrestling brand, but I think what I would prefer is to have those Impact Wrestling stars like Tommy Dreamer come into the WrestleCenter and make special appearances. And then we would get Memphis Wrestling versus Impact Wrestling. But really, the appearance and the storyline of the superstars coming in, that is what would be extremely valuable to Memphis Wrestling. Snack Kings. Rob says, can't wait for Grind City. Who will be the secret entrant? I don't know, man. It is so much fun, and our roster is so big. This was a monster to write. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I know you will. Steve, what's up? How are you, brother? Happy holidays, Jake. I really appreciate that. Lurvy, any more legends to appear in Memphis Wrestling in 2023? Oh, yeah. Lurvy, are you kidding me? You guys post in the comments. What kind of legends would you like to see? I have some in mind, that's for sure. And 2023 is just about to begin, and we're kicking it off very good and exciting with Blake Christian and James Ellsworth, not only for in-the-ring type of action, but then also storyline type of action. Steve, you got to go back and check it out if you missed it, brother. Hardcore holidays. Michael says, we didn't have Hollywood Jimmy Blaylock on the show, so it did feel like a Merry Christmas. Well, he was on the show. He just wasn't live at the desk. Thank goodness. Keith says, I wonder how Mr. Martin is doing now. Christmas came too soon for him and his mixed tag team partner. Martin is always a joy to watch, whether you're cheering him or booing him. Jake says his pipes are froze. Man, you got to let them drip, Jake. Oh, I hope everything's cool. Rob says, Hollyweird cliche versus the Possums. If they lose, this audience wins. Absolutely. Nathan says, Merry Christmas, Dustin. Watching from Sydney, Australia. It's summer here. Man, Nathan, I'm jealous. Shout out to Australia. You guys had the Young Rock shooting there for a couple of years, and now they're here in Memphis, Tennessee. Keep your eyes peeled on Fridays at 7:30 Central on Peacock. You might see your boy in the ring. How about that? Robert says, when will the UWN champion visit Memphis? Hopefully very soon, Robert. That championship is defended tomorrow on television. I believe it's Danny Limelight getting the opportunity at the Golden Boy, Jordan Clearwater. So tune in on Christmas Day for that. But very soon, hopefully. Lurvy, seems hilarious to remember seeing you and Maria hosting Championship Wrestling in 2019. When I first saw you, I thought You were a couple of dropout hosts of Entertainment Tonight. Wow. Whew, Lurvy. Let me reread that. When I first saw you, I thought you were a couple of dropout hosts of Entertainment Tonight. Well, I am a big, very, very big Mario Lopez fan, so if that tells you anything. I really appreciate it. There are times where Maria and myself have walked, through Cooper Young area in Memphis during Cooper Young Fest or whatever, and they say, "Whoa, it's the CW30 Stars." Hey, we didn't know you guys were from here. Where do you guys live? They think we live in Miami or California or something like that, and here we are local. So obviously they don't go to local sporting events. Rob says, I love the Stars giving back. So do I. Greg, what a fantastic main event. It's very cold here right now. Needed my wrestling as a great Christmas present. I appreciate that, Greg. Welcome to the live chat. An invasion would be cool, but yeah, it would have to be Memphis Wrestling invading Impact, right? Why would Impact invade Memphis Wrestling? Would Stone Cold Steve Austin fit any match against someone in a Memphis? Oh gosh, get out of here! I would love it. If anybody's fighting Stone Cold Steve Austin, it might be me. Are you doing a year-ends award voting? Yes, Steve. That's going to be opened up very, very soon. I think it's going to launch tomorrow with the nomination process, and it should be wrapped up by January the 1st. We do not have a live event for that, but we will be doing the awards. Keith says, love your Christmas tree. Who did all the work? You know who did all the work. My lovely Maria. Larry says, that's for just in case or just a tool. When will he pay the price for his interference? Aaron, being the problem child that he is, he deserves a visit from Krampus and not Santa Claus. Well, that's going to definitely develop over the next couple weeks. You will see that come to life. Jimmy was just on long enough to stink up the show. That's true. Keith says, bring in Ricky Starks from AEW. He was marvelous. Yeah. Dustin Rhodes. There's a couple. Best feud in wrestling is Brett and Mike. I agree. Have you guys thought about bringing in Layla Gray from the Baddies? No, I have not thought about that, but that's a good one. RVD. I would love to have RVD here, but I don't know if I have enough seats for RVD because he's probably very expensive. I hope UWN connections will be strong in the new year. Lurvy, honestly, the issue, if there's any issue at all, of having talent appear on both shows is that the flights from California to Tennessee at this point, all across the United States, are very expensive. So with such a compact audience of seats of like 100 at the WrestleCenter of capacity. So when you all the when you have your haters say, oh, ha, 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 capacity crowd, whatever. We are at capacity literally every single show. And that's because the WrestleCenter is only 6,000 square feet. And that's doing exactly what we need it to do. So my point is when you only have a limited capacity of 100 seats and a flight possibly costs you close to $1,000, it's very hard to recoup the return on that investment. So giving you guys a little peek behind the curtain, that's a real thing. Keith, are you going to have a pre-party for SmackDown coming to Memphis on Friday? Yes, Friday, January the 6th. We are going to be live at Ghost River from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Ghost River is literally on Beale Street. It is literally right next door FedEx Forum, and all ages are welcome. So we're all going to go there. Myself and some of the stars of Memphis Wrestling will be there live. Boom, we'll eat, drink, hang out, talk some wrestling, probably make some posters. And then as soon as it hits like 6:45 or so, we can walk on over to FedEx Forum and get in our seats for SmackDown. That's our pre-party, Keith. 5 to 7 is what I would say. Rob said, love to see Limelight versus the Gun Show. That would sell out the stadium. Well, that would probably sell out the WrestleCenter for sure, but I don't know if Limelight should do that because I don't know if you guys know, but Gun Show doesn't lose a lot. Good to be here. I haven't been here in a while. I missed the live reaction. My timing hasn't been that good. Well, Greg, I'm glad you're back. I got a couple of more minutes here. Rob says, too many good matches, hard to pick for an award. I know this is going to be a really difficult one. United Wrestling Network, I also watch every week. It's amazing. I appreciate that, Greg. We bring it to you right here every single Sunday. Dustin, would you like the TNA former knockout champion Velvet Sky to appear on Memphis Wrestling? Yeah, I think she would be great here. What's up, Clive? How are you? Remember Michael Hayes versus JYD, hair versus hair. The hair cream in the eyes. Man, this hair versus hair is going to be crazy. Any idea when Nikki Lane is coming back? Greg, no, I'm not sure, but we do keep in communication with Nikki. Legends, I was thinking of wrestlers that have a lot of ability left in them, like Tommy Dreamer. I'm not going to say the final statement of that, but I do agree, Larvey. Dustin, does y'all's barbecue always sell out in the arena? Pretty much, and that's not a lie, Snack Kings. We have to leave this sounds really crazy, but just when we think we know what an inventory is, we always have to leave to get some extra food, and barbecue is usually one of it. Memphis Wrestling, what do you think about 5150 in the MLW? I'm not familiar with that, Jake. I'm sorry. I like the future stars getting mic time and starting storylines. Rob, stay tuned and buckle up, baby. Destiny, what's up? Shoulder deep in cookies. Oh, that sounds awesome. Baking, but please have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I popped for Santa. I came running out to see him. Yay, he's a good-looking Santa. Yes, that's the real Santa, the real Santa Claus. Destiny, stop by Memphis Wrestling today at Hardcore Holidays on Christmas Eve to drop off those Memphis Trios rings, and the look on Ray Ray's face was just priceless. And Derek literally being surprised. Don't even know if he knew it was going to happen, but he looks over and goes, "Oh my gosh, what was that, Santa Claus?" And here he came. So, last year Santa Claus was not necessarily Santa Claus. It ended up being the posse in disguise. This year we had the real Santa Claus, but still, the posse kidnapping Santa Claus. I would like to see Chavo and Marcus Alexander Bagwell wrestle in Memphis Wrestling. Chavo is definitely a possibility. Buff, I don't know if he will ever be cleared to compete at the WrestleCenter. Sam, much love right back, brother. Gun Show versus the Elite is a dream match. I would watch that. Everyone, make sure you tell me happy birthday on January 6th. I'll see you out there, Ray Ray. What are your chances of getting Bully Ray to Memphis? His promo with Dreamer on Impact a couple of weeks ago was the best of the year. Memphis would absolutely love him. Bo, I think that is a very true statement. I think Bully Ray would be awesome here. But I don't know if I necessarily have enough seats for Bully Ray. I think he would draw really well is what I'm trying to say. What do you think about OVW champion Shalance Royale? Yes, he is on the Memphis Wrestling roster. Terrence needs an award for outstanding ring announcer. Terrence needs an award for a lot more than that. Tommy Dreamer should have fought the posse in a hardcore match. And Destiny donates $19.99. Merry Christmas. Looking forward to 2023. I knew he was the real Santa. That's very cool. Thank you, Destiny. I appreciate that. And what I'll do with that $19.99 is I will buy some tickets for some kids that have been wanting to come to Memphis Wrestling and just not had the time or the money to do it. So thank you so much for that, Destiny. That is awesome. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Okay, a couple more minutes here, guys. Uncle Mikey versus Bray Wyatt, please, okay? William says, very Merry Christmas to your 5-star family. I appreciate it. Marco Stunt needs to come back and settle Aaron down. Oh, man, that might be a death sentence for Marco Stunt to come and fight against Aaron Roberts. Merry Christmas, Memphis Wrestling, says Keith. I really appreciate it. Okay, everybody, there's several featured clips that we put out there for Christmas. You guys can tune into those right here on this YouTube channel. And then also tomorrow, Danny Limelight versus Jordan Clearwater on Christmas for the United Wrestling Network World Championship. Thank you, Destiny. I really appreciate it. Uncle Mikey gave up his Christmas present today. It was Legos. Thank you, Lurvy. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you guys. Tune in tomorrow, and then also you'll see, the matches and all that kind of stuff that's going to premiere here on YouTube. And then we'll see you next week. So next Saturday, is our New Year's Eve special. Justin, have you thought about when it's not wrestling, you can travel around Memphis food restaurant? Ooh, that would be good. You think a camera should follow me around Memphis and eat food? That'd be great. Memphis Wrestling will always be an hour due 2 hours because of 100 episodes. No, they will be 1 hour shows. Keith says, get well, Coco Beware. Hey, let me take just a second to say this, that I texted Coco Beware after I read that he was in the hospital. And he sent me a text right back and said that he's doing well. He did go into the hospital, but looks to be out of the hospital for Christmas. So big shout out to Coco Beware. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I believe he had either knee replacements or hip replacements here recently. So one can only assume. But anyways, I hope he's doing very, very well for Christmas. Yes, Memphis food things sound good, Dustin. You should try it. Maybe I will. Guys, Merry Christmas. Love you guys. I will see you next week. If not before then, right here on Memphis Wrestling. Merry Christmas. Oh, yeah.